Hi, everybody, and welcome to my school. Should be my school. I spend more time here.
We'll adopt you.
Diman Regional High School. With Kyle Capuccio, who's a business technology instructor here, the director, and also the director of adult education program. We'll get to that in a moment.
Sure.
And of course, the boss here is Mrs. Anne Marie Zenny, the business technology department head. This is, I think, our 15th course, Carl, that we've done with shops and so on and so forth. The purpose is obviously to help to get a new school.
Right.
And so the more that we expose the public, as we do with Spotlight, Diamond Spotlight, the better off they get to see it from the inside.
Sure.
And try to narrate that in a way that it's appealing, one, and it's knowledgeable, two. Now, speaking of knowledgeable, Kyle, talk to me about the program, the adult, the adult program.
Okay.
Education program.
Well, at Diamond right now, our adult programs are limited to the journeyman and plumbing electrical programs and some preparatory classes for licensure. And so what we've been charged with by both our superintendent and the governor is to offer adult programs that lead to employability in areas such as automated manufacturing, welding, machine tooling.
Welding's out of control. You can't get enough welders.
Can't get enough welders. We absolutely cannot. And eventually offer every program, including our own, to the adult community.
Okay.
With the long-term goal of sustainable employability.
How would you package that to get it to the adult community?
Well, first and foremost, we're going to be doing an entire marketing campaign this summer, letting them know that there are currently 25,000 unfulfilled jobs in the state of Massachusetts in automated manufacturing, machine tool, and metal fabrication and welding. And so then we would start a process of application. Which will have an acceptance policy, and we'll have financial aid available to the students through Pell Grants. And the goal is to have the program completed in less than 180 days. And that way it's not a 3-year program. They're out there with the skills that they need, not only to get them into the field, but to sustain them, and then give them the opportunity to come back later on and take refresher courses, or as technology improves, and it does, technology is changing every 6 months in most of those fields, to come back and get the skills and the tools that they need to
they will
go through the
come
rank.
here.
They will come through here during the evenings. They'll come after 4 o'clock. They'll come 3 nights a week. And we're going to be ready to hit the ground running in September with automated manufacturing, which was formerly known as machine tool.
Yeah.
But the days of the old lathes are gone. Now it's the CNC computerized manufacturing, which is what we will be specializing in the field, in which we'll be going after.
Right.
So it's exciting stuff, and it's the same thing with the welding. Ann and I have been here since the beginning.
Is that right?
So,
Will Ann and you be also involved in the night program when you get to seniors?
She won't. Well, she could. The way it's going to work is we will try to. The teachers will have to be fully licensed Chapter 74 instructors for the evening program.
Yeah, okay.
And so there are some from this school that will want to work at night and pick up the extra hours, and then there's some we may have to go on the outside, but they have to be Chapter 74.
This is all. The bill is funded by the state.
It's partially funded by the state.
Okay.
It's approved by the state, which is unheard of for the adult programs. Right. It's been mostly LPNs at night in most of the vocational technical schools.
Okay.
And now they really want it. The whole premise is the community. The former administration wanted to do it in the community colleges, but they didn't have the infrastructure or the machinery or the money to put either in. It's already in existence in the Voc schools, and they're empty at night.
By the way, this would be the
level.
Sense. This would be the level that they'd be more comfortable in.
No question.
Absolutely.
It's not as intimidating, and the instructors are used to dealing with people who are coming to them not with the skills, which are high school students, and so you can truly offer someone a fresh start because they may not have any background in the field, but they can gain that through the program, because in the end the goal is employability.
Kyle, as long as I've been going around to all the shops and the classes and so on, one of the things I always say in the narration is, why doesn't there be separate? Why not build a campus? You want to build a new school, build a
like
campus.
Colleges. You're talking about
a college.
Like colleges.
In other words, what happens is so that each department that has major sponsors helping with some equipment cost, certainly hiring some kids, could have their own building. In a where
kind of like
do the
BCC
day and
does.
the night. And because look at, if you're going to go after a new school, make it a new school.
Not an old school that's new. Not an old school that's new.
Not an old school rehab. Make it different. Make it so that, you know, that dental hygiene can give some free dental work to the
A health careers building, which is dental hygiene and health careers.
Exactly. So everywhere you go, you decide what the name of the building is or who's in the building, but you make it like a
Clusters.
campus.
Yeah,
And then you do is, and you're offering, just think of all of the things that you, Diman, in its entirety, has done for the community that cost them nothing. Not thinking about that. Start adding that up into sending them a bill for what happens, okay, based on the market. How much money would you have contributed? So in the meantime, if you have that as a criteria in building a new school, that you want to do it as a campus, and do it so that the identity of each part of the building, it has its own identity and still be under the guidance.
And it provides a value added to the community so that they understand it's measurable, it's quantitative.
Yeah.
You know, this is what we can do.
And as far as that's concerned, if you wanted to do the night school, but I think the campus is a good idea because you start going through the shops and you see who the major sponsors are. They give them something. They could really buy them a building. They could build a building. They could put their finger on how to be able to do it. I mean, I went to, I forget which one. I go to so many auto collision.
Yep. Carl's
with
Collision's
welding, just to use that for a second. I don't want to get off script here, but then I went to I'm affiliated with, I was an Army guy, not a Navy guy. So I'm affiliated with Tin Can Sailors.
Sure.
It's the national office is in Somerset. And we did some shows called, I have a show called Veterans Corner. And I've done War College, you know, which is fascinating. You know, and done
Very fascinating.
the Battleship Massachusetts and so on as a backdrop. And I went to them and I asked them, of all the federal program to defense programs, how many welders would you need to be able to do that? Amazing amount. So I asked them to run up on their computer for an application for hiring a computer and brought it back here. A welder. So now, so they have an application for sending a child out to be a welder. So it's here. You know, it's here.
In the 70s, 80s, and 90s, when I was affiliated with Johnson Wales University, that we trained all the chefs for the Navy and the Coast Guard.
Did you?
So they would just send them to a vocational college, basically, and they would send them not for entire trimesters. They'd send them for small, like they'd send them for aggressive small training very quickly, and then get them back into the active workforce.
They're doing that now in the services the last year or last 6 months or something to train them to. How did the program start off?
What happened was about 16 years ago, because it takes a year in advance, they started looking for, the superintendent, Roger Amos, started looking for where there was a need in the community. And because the manufacturing base in Fall River, unfortunately, was leaving, and the economy was turning more towards the service economy, real estate, banking, legal, and health, they identified as this is a segmentation that needed to be serviced, and it currently wasn't. It was dramatically underserviced. So they needed people that could come out with skills that could interact in an office, in a 20th century office, not just answering a phone or not just filing papers, but that could service the 20th century and 21st century consumer. And so it was a really unique opportunity that we were able to come in. Ann Zenny was hired first, and I was hired. I was a history teacher that was brought over 2 years after it, and we were able to develop the curriculum right from stage one. And the unique thing about our community is because so many of our students are English language learners and speak a second language, and we emphasized that was a positive, that because so many of the bankers and the legal offices and the doctor's offices, they needed to have those people in there because there's a comfort zone. And so we had these, many of them first generation individuals 15 years ago and even today to graduate from college, to be able to come to our program and to learn these business accounting skills, and then eventually get to the point now where they can graduate with 29 college credits at BCC. It started very simply. It started with 8 students per cycle. It means 16 students a year with just Miss Zenny teaching. And then after year 2, they brought on a second teacher, which was myself. Miss Zenny's career was in banking and was in legal. I had a career in the hospitality industry as general manager of a hotel. And so we took our skills and we developed the program over the years, and after year 4 or 5, we added Miss Case, also from the banking industry, and then eventually we added Miss Suzanne Ramus, a Diman grad, but machine tool technology.
Yep.
All 4 instructors have different backgrounds, have different strengths, and the 4 of us sat down and we broke down our curriculum based on what the state said we had to teach, and based on what we knew we needed to teach for employability, to teach to our strengths constantly. And so we're a very fluid program relative to the way that we approach our
Carl,
position.
from the ground up, how many years have you been doing this program?
How many?
I know you've changed the name to.
We were office technology initially, which meant it was really just basic office skills, administrative assistant, which is nothing basic about that. But when they changed it to business technology approximately 5 years ago, they changed the name. It did 2 things for us. One, it opened up a non-traditional student suddenly was more interested in it, a male student. They didn't see it as just simply a support staff. Yeah. 2, the curriculum emphasized things like project management, entrepreneurship, accounting, marketing, high-level marketing, and social network marketing. And so when they changed our curriculum 5 years ago, we had to shift gears also. Yeah. And it kind of ramped it up. And we were able to partner with BCC when they did that to have a dual enrollment program where our students are offered the ability, if they take 2 additional courses, one with myself and one with Ms. Zenny, because we're both adjunct faculty members there, that they graduate with 29 college credits. They go to BCC, they're 1 credit short of their sophomore year. Wow. They don't have to pay for it, they don't have to pay for the books, and it's a pretty exciting program. And so we've had a lot of students take advantage of that throughout the year. So when they graduate when they get their diploma from Diman, they walk across the stage, they get their Diman diploma, they get their BCC credential certificate program.
Ready to roll.
Ready to roll. So they can go out.
They see the real world in the program.
Employability is the key with us. I mean, we want them employable from day one when they leave Diman or before. And so they may go to a 4-year college afterwards, and many do, but instead of working at Burger King and McDonald's, our students are working in law offices and legal offices, they're working in doctor's offices, they're working in machine tool shop everywhere. Anywhere. That's the unique thing about our program. We can work in any other shop programs co-op.
I don't want to make you Swami predicts the future, but 10 to 15 years from now, where would you believe this is such an expanding subject?
This particular program, I mean, it's going to be pretty exciting. I see 10 from 15 years from now, we had better have our own bank on campus, which we will be running with a partnership, hopefully with someone here local, like a Bank 5 or a Fall River Municipal Credit Union. We should be running our own bank. Our students should be out there. We should be having I don't want to say think tanks, but we should be opening up micro companies where much what they're doing on the college level now, we should be doing it, but we should be doing it with internet-based programs, internet-based companies and services, and so that our students are out there because they can do the work, they have the skills, we've seen it already. It's just now taking the vehicle. How do we get that out there where our students are not just doing simulations, but are working on real life businesses and programs and their own, much like an MIT or Harvard will do, where they're graduating, and they're graduating entrepreneurs already. That would be our long-term goal.
Well, that goes along the lines of what I was saying earlier about how you set up a campus. You're going to build something, don't build a campus type of situation and encompass all the ideas that you've trained people to do and you trained yourself to do. And that opens it up, and it accelerates the entrance to college for them if they want to go. It also opens up with the industry itself for hiring. So instead of sometimes going to a school because it has a name and paying exorbitant fees.
Exactly.
And then you can go to work, or you can go to school at night.
Yeah, our goal is to have.
I'm not downing the educational facility, but not everybody's a poet or an author.
No, and if anything, vocational trade schools show success in life is not measured by a college certificate or a college diploma. I mean, it's amazing what our machinists do, our electricians, our plumbers, the contribution that they make to the communities, is the builders, the carpenters. I mean, every single shop program, they're out there. And I wish I had gone to a vocational technical high school, and I didn't at the time. But it's not the technical high school of the 80s, the vocational school of the 80s. Where we are right now and the opportunities that our students have.
But Carl, Diman is a really, at least my tenure in the Senate, and Diman's probably one of the best trade schools around. It offers, I mean, I know this is selfish, I might say this, but it offers so many variation of an education, so many opportunities for employment. So, you know?
I would agree. I think the thing that makes Diman unique, this is my 15th year here, is that, and unique meaning not just recently, but in its history, is the fact that so many of the graduates, first of all, it's always had a high expectation, a high level of performance, a high expectation of conduct, a high expectation of effort, of pride. And so many of the SHOP programs have students that come back to be teachers after their students, after their teachers retire.
Absolutely.
And they maintain that level, and they maintain that pride. And for us, because we're one of the newest programs, we've just had our first student come back and become a business tech instructor this year. And so for us, that's kind of a legacy. It's a changing of the guard. So a lot of what happens with Diman is a high expectation of performance, a high expectation of professionalism and of maturity. And it's from day one. And it's not just with the trade skills, it's with the soft skills. It's the please, the excuse me, the thank you. Okay, it's interacting as adults and not as young adults or as young children. That expectation starts freshman year, regardless of the shop, and it continues right through graduation. Does it always happen with 100% of the population? I'd like to say yes, it doesn't, but we do it at a higher percentage than most schools do, not just in the state, but in the country. I firmly believe that.
Plus, you're out there all the time winning every type of award with academically, you know, shops, you name it. Now, both of you are students here at the Business Technology Program. Now, both juniors in the technology program. You know, what are your future career goals? I mean, what are you thinking about for the future?
My future career goals is most likely to further my career in business, in the business field. So maybe like a receptionist, secretary, find something that I like and stick with it.
So you have the you have the background to be able to go into a variety of choices. Okay, you don't have to be rushing to go to college.
No.
I'm not trying to keep you out of college.
No,
Okay.
I know.
No, but I mean, just that if there's an opportunity at this level, and we were talking before about campus type of living, not so much housing, but talking about how you should set up. You build a new school, which is what this is all about. Is to get a new school for Diman and you get to expand in Diman, so the career opportunities you can do, but also like a campus, so that you have separate areas you can go to, you know, enjoy the surrounding. Well, that's what you got to do. You're looking for a new school, so I appreciate that. And how will this program help you to achieve all those goals? You can join. You can cut each other off. Someday.
It's preparing us for what's to come and
The real world.
So you figure that what you're learning here is you learn, and you think of the areas you like to go in, and you can focus on the areas you like to go in, right? You have multiple choices, but you can focus on that. And how will this, the education will assist you for the future? It's a question, I guess. Education will increase you in the future, won't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a yes. And what made you choose business technologies?
What made me choose business technology is all of the skills that we learn and the certifications that we acquire, and how we get taught, you know, like please and thank you, excuse me, things like that. Hello, good morning.
And I think your therapist is still here. I mean, meaning that what happens is your teachers who get you to this level that you feel in your heart where you want to go, they're still here for you.
Definitely.
So it isn't like you cut the cord. You're out there. You're able to come back and then see these people. And what's the favorite part of your program here?
favorite part, I don't know, there's a lot. I really enjoy the certifications that we get to learn, all the programs.
So in essence, I think Carl was saying that what happens is you get credits towards college if you want to use them.
You have to take three courses, college level courses. I think 2 of them is English 101 and then an office procedure class.
Yeah.
And then for taking those classes, you can get college credits.
Yeah, and the other thing is the whole country changes by virtue of languages too. So in this particular case, you have you don't speak another language. Do you speak another language? No, no. But that's not going to stop you. I'm just saying it's just a multiple. You have to provide for that as well, which the education facility does. And you know, in the time when you're in a particular quagmire with your job, you start thinking about, geez, I better ask. This is Zenny. Maybe Mrs. Zenny gets a couple of minutes for me. I just want to ask her about what the situation is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's so important about this. It's not you know, it's not we're using your hands, you're using your brains.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, yeah.
And what's been your favorite lesson?
I don't even think I have a favorite. I like all of it.
You like all of it?
Mhm.
You too? So that means that you come in here with computer skills or you learn computer skills?
You learn them.
You learn them.
Yes.
You learn them in a business sense.
Yes.
So so all of the challenges that business have with banking, business, insurance, whatever, all are resolved in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, with the computer. Great, great. How does it feel like going to the Nationals?
Well,
Both went to the Nationals?
I'm
No,
going.
she-
'cause
Oh, you're
I won
going,
the T-shirt
okay.
design.
Give me
yeah.
the Nationals. What's the Nationals to begin with? Is that a?
Skills USA.
Okay.
It's in Kentucky because I went T-shirt design, so I'm really excited about it. So
What does that do? Does that give you credit? Like, I mean, you win something, like an award, whatever, right?
Mhm.
But then can you use that in an advantage? I guess so.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Diamond wins all the awards, don't they? The university? I mean,
A
I don't
lot.
care what it's baking cakes or it's brain surgery. I mean, you guys got it all here. You know,
We
don't
do.
miss on it. And then, what are you most excited about?
I don't know. I think it's being around so many different people and seeing and having that experience and.
That's it. All right, I get rid of that, you feel better. Well, anyway, listen, I thank you for being here, talking to me, and we gotta wish that Diamond gets into school. The bigger the better.
Yes, the bigger
The
the better.
bigger the better, the
Expand
more
everything.
explain. The teachers love it, students will love it,
Mhm.
you'll do it. So thank you both.
You're welcome.
Thank you both. You are on YouTube. Well, Carl, let me thank you. We've
Thank you.
looked at everybody. We've asked the questions. You guys dictated all the questions. Did they get the answers before I talked?
Who, students?
Yeah.
I didn't even get the questions before you got them. Did you get the
Anyway.
questions first?
I'm
Yeah. That's okay, but we haven't coached them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you very
Cheers.
much for showing me.
Nice
what
seeing you,
everything
Senator.
is.